Okay, thank you very much. Let's get started this morning. I'll call the meeting to order. Just as a point of order for everyone here this morning, we had a meeting scheduled over the top of us by our leadership up in the Senate. As you know, this is the beginning of a budget day, and so a couple of those kind of things take precedence. So we've had to push our bills back today, but we did want to get Mr. Riemann and his troops. And obviously the director's here this morning. We want to get to a good report, Jeremiah, from you. Let's take roll first, if you would.
Okay.
Sue, thank you.
Senator Boner,
He's excused.
Senator Hicks,
Here.
Senator Jones,
Here.
Senator Schuler,
Excused?
Chairman Landon.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Senator Schuler should be here in a minute, but Jeremiah, take it away. We're anxious to hear, progress and what you've been up to, and hopefully we'll get to the director a little bit too. So, yeah. And your colleagues right here at the desk.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I come to you with a different hat on today. I've been moonlighting as the chairman of the Wyoming Outdoor Recreation and Tourism Trust Fund Board, and very proud to be serving along with a number of colleagues. I thought I would talk a little bit about who we are, where we've been, and where we're going, and certainly have my colleagues jump in. So, as I mentioned, we're the Wyoming Outdoor Recreation and Tourism Trust, and of course, as you all know, that was established in 2023 and 2024 legislative work. We're overseen by a talented group of 9 board members from across the state, representing the 9 judicial districts. To my left, in my day job, is one of my bosses, but one of my colleagues as we sit on the trust, and that is Mike Jones out of Fremont County, who represents District Number 9 in Fremont, Sublette, and Teton counties. So excited to have him here. We're also supported by a really talented and dedicated team from the Department of State Parks and Cultural Resources. And Deputy Director Chris Floyd is to my right, and our secretary of the board is not here. I understand he's at the hospital, and so please do be thinking about him today.
So
Everything
Jeremiah,
okay?
welcome, Deputy Director. It's great to have you here. And Commissioner, thanks you guys for being here. We look forward to catching up. So please proceed.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, so our mission, as you know, is to promote, preserve, and enhance Wyoming's outdoor recreation and tourism infrastructure for current and future generations of both residents and visitors. And we're very happy with the work that we've been doing. So a little bit about where we've been. In the time that we were appointed last, I think it was in February, we were appointed. You guys confirmed the board, and we got to work. We've had 5 meetings over the course of time, first starting in March of last year, and our most recent meeting just last week, last Thursday. We've met in Lander, Newcastle, Casper, Cheyenne, and last week we were on the Wind River Indian Reservation. We've had, in particular, 2 working groups throughout the time that we've been meeting. The first one is our rules working group, another one focused on the guidelines and application so that we could get moving forward. The entirety of that package was completed last Thursday. And I'll talk more about what that looks like as I go along. So first, for our rules, those establish both competitive and non-competitive grants. Most of what I'll talk about is the competitive grants, but for non-competitive, we set aside a small dollar amount that could go to, say, a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout project and have that available at our discretion as those projects came up. So we have that available to us, but primarily the fund will be dedicated to those competitive grants, things that are probably in the nature of $25,000 or larger. We took really seriously throughout the process the interest in the socioeconomic, cultural, natural and wildlife conservation ethics while trying to promote sustainable outdoor recreation infrastructure development. We have had an incredible active engagement with all of the stakeholders from the various groups that represent those interests. And I think their interests are reflected in the rules that we ultimately adopted. They can certainly provide their perspective, but I think that it's soundly embedded in there. And it also forces engagement with the agencies that are responsible for those particular areas. So for socioeconomics, your destination marketing groups or organizations will be engaged. We've got the Wyoming Game and Fish Department, as well as the Tribal Fish and Game Agency, cultural resources through the state or tribal historic preservation offices. So all of them will be engaged throughout the application and review process. Moving to the guidelines and the application, we have established a 2026 timeline, which will start with a release of the application this month. In fact, I think that's going to go out sometime in the next 10 days for people to begin submitting applications. It's a little bit of timing as we finalize the rules through the Attorney General's office, so can't get ahead of ourselves, but we'll get that out, I think, in the next 10 days. It'll be open for about 45 days and close sometime in April. We also, of course, have consideration for large projects. So you established a threshold of $200,000 or more have to come back to you. And we're certainly having the conversation of multi-phase projects that might go over that threshold and making sure that we engage you at the earliest possible time frame for that. We've defined what we believe are the priority infrastructure projects. I tried to bring some information on that. And so we will initially focus on things that fall into adaptive outdoor recreation, camping, education, interpretation, fishing, nature enjoyment, off-road motorized, rock and mountain activities, shooting activities and archery, snow activities, trail activities, and water activities. Got categories under those, but those are the focus initially for the fund. Yeah, right. Mr. Chairman, we've also established what we believe are appropriate suggested matches while allowing for a waiver if need can be demonstrated. Those suggested matches are established by county. So depending on, we use the overall county revenue based on what is submitted through the Department of Audit's county. I'm trying to remember what the name of the form is. It's the annual report that counties and others have to submit information in that shows what the overall revenues are. So for, let's say, Teton County, they have a 50-50 suggested match, whereas, say, a Niobrara County, I believe, has a 25% suggested match. Again, that can be waived based on demonstration of need for all of those various counties. Mr. Chairman, as part of our process of where we've been, we've engaged with other states. We've had both Utah and Colorado provide us information on their investment in outdoor recreation. They do it differently, and it was important for us to understand that. I would say that Utah is the most intriguing model to us. They're also something to aspire to. I believe they told us they are putting about $45 million a year into outdoor recreation. And I want you to remember that number when I get to what we will have available to us. So they're heavily invested. As I mentioned, we met on the reservation last week, and so we have engaged the tribes in the conversation, and we were very lucky to have Leslie Shakespeare, who oversees the Wind River Development Fund, come and really give us a really impressive presentation of the investments that they're making on the reservation, and I think there's a lot that we could do to support them. We've been lucky to have Bob Budd and the Wildlife and Natural Resource Trust counsel us a couple of different times through this process, and he and I have had hours-long conversations. In fact, we got in a truck one day and went for a drive out to Burns and back and just talked the whole time about these things and had lunch afterwards. So we're trying to absorb as much as we can from the success of that particular program. The Office of Tourism has given us information and advice along the way, as have countless other stakeholders throughout the process. Of course, we're doing a bunch of other administrative work, logo, website, and all of those things, and kudos to the department for their work there. I'll close out with where we're going. There is approximately $13 million that sits in the trust right now. Of course, the statutory establishment set a $200 million goal. So we're excited to get there, hopefully sooner rather than later. But right now we have approximately $13 million in the trust, which will leave us with about $2 million and some change for investment in projects over the course of this biennium. The statutory construct suggests we can't touch that money until July, which is part of why we've established some of our dates that I'll mention here in a second. As I mentioned, we'll open the application this month and close it in April. The board will meet April 28th and 29th in Saratoga in conjunction with the Outdoor Recreation Summit that will be held over there. At that time, we will evaluate all of the applications that come in and begin planning our site visits, which will happen through the spring. We will then host a board meeting on July 8th and 9th in Evanston. And at that point in time, we will review our site visits and approve applications for funding. Of course, those that are over the $200,000 threshold will be bringing to the Select Natural Resource Funding Committee in August. And we're hoping for a very robust package of applications. If the interest in the ARPA funds is any indication, we are going to have a tough job in July of picking who to fund. We will also close out the year with meetings in Cody on October 7th and in Gillette on December 4th. With that, Mr. Chairman, I would certainly allow my colleagues to provide any input, but very happy to answer any questions that you have at all about where we're at.
Senator Hicks.
Mr. Chairman, so Jeremiah, where should I tell people to go find the application? Do you have a website? And what might that be?
Deputy, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
Chris Floyd, Deputy Director, State Parks and Cultural Resources. Senator Hicks, it'll be on the Wyoming Outdoor Recreation webpage, so wyorec.com. That'll be up shortly.
Further questions of the panel? Jeremiah, thanks for taking the time. Maybe you want to hand it off to your colleagues here. Gentlemen, Commissioner, how about you first? Give us your thoughts on where we are with, this is really a pretty exciting thing for our state, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I totally agree. It is really exciting. I can say that our experience this year on the trust fund has been tedious but rewarding. It's a burden to build the rules and guidelines, and luckily we did have some models to work off of and some ideas. But we've got a committed group of 9 people that are diverse backgrounds, but all enthusiastic about outdoor rec, and they gave it their all. And we had some very robust conversations. I don't think I annoyed Jeremiah more than 2 or 3 times, but it was just a really good and rigorous process that I think we can be proud of. We did experience along the way that there were some things we just couldn't really predict how they were going to pan out. So with that in mind, we just said, you know what, this is our best shot today. We will review that at the end of the year and see after we've gone through a full year and look at it again and see if there's tweaks that need to be made, those kinds of things. So again, the rigor was there. So appreciate the opportunity to be involved in that.
Thanks, Commissioner. Appreciate your efforts. And Deputy Director?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A moment ago, Chairman Reeman said he's moonlighting as the chairman. That's putting it mildly. He's put a lot of time and energy and leadership into this group, and I just want to say thank you for all you've done. And really, we're proud of the whole board. They did have some very robust conversations and got way into the weeds, but it was a fun process to be a part of. I'm proud of the staff in the outdoor rec office. You know, we haven't put together a board and a set of rules and a grant program like this before. And so there was a lot of learning we had to do. So Mark Tesoro, the manager of the office, secretary of the board, and Bryn Hirschman, our grants coordinator, have just done a wonderful job. And they've grown and learned a lot through the process as well. We're looking forward to seeing that continue, but we're just super excited about this. As you know, in the outdoor rec office and in our department, we've been working on this for years. We're glad to see it get to this point. We're almost there, and it's going to be really exciting to see the funds hit the ground and some projects come to fruition. And I know our communities are going to be very happy about that. We're going to be oversubscribed, but we're going to do good things with what we have for now. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Gentlemen, thank you. Go ahead, Senator Schuler. Yeah. Then I want to bring the director up and get some thoughts from the director.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could you remind us again, just a little bit of the flavor of the board? What the members, maybe where they're from, where they, what areas that they represent? I know a few, but it'd be nice to know a little bit more about the makeup of the board.
Yeah, I can give you the representatives for each of the districts across the state of Wyoming. I represent District 1, so that is Laramie County. Matt Burkhart represents District 2, which is Carbon and Albany County. You may recognize his name. His father served in the House. He was also a part of the Governor Mead's outdoor recreation task force, and I think a part of
The state Trails
your
Advisory
state.
Council.
Yeah, so he's very active in some different places. Over in Sweetwater, District 3, which is Sweetwater, Lincoln, and Uinta counties, that is Mark Lyon, who also was a part of the previous task force that was undertaken. A wonderful representative. I mentioned Commissioner Jones from District 9. Rachel Spear out of District 7, which is Natrona County. She is the Platte River Trails Director and been great to work with. District 8, which is Converse, Niobrara, Platte, and Goshen, is Shauna Reichert. And she's, another wonderful individual. District 6, Campbell, Crook, and Weston counties is Katie Ford. And she is leading a group that is making their own investments in some infrastructure over there. I think made some investments at one of your Wyoming Sportsman's Group, and they made some investments at Keyhole State Park here recently. So great having her. District 4, Sheridan and Johnson County is Luke Thorkelson. He is with one of the gun manufacturers, CEO with Weatherby. So great having him. And then closing it out, not least, is District 5, which is Park, Bighorn, Washakie, and Hot Springs counties, is Wes Allen. He is the owner of Sunlight Sports with his wife up in Cody. So just a wonderful group. And Commissioner Jones is absolutely right. These are people that aren't just coming to meetings, they're actively participating. Last week was a grind to get through every one of those things. And at the end of it, I looked around and said, nobody was quiet in this meeting. Everybody contributed something. So it's been a really good group.
Great news, you guys. Really appreciate it. Stick around. I do want to get to the director. Anxious to get a few thoughts from him. And sorry, we're under such time constraint this morning, everyone. We've got to get back upstairs by 8:30. But we did want to catch up with our outdoor rec folks who have done a lot of work this past year. Director, good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman. Good morning, committee.
welcome.
Great to see all of you. Maybe the only time I see you this session, so that will be rare. Mr. Chairman, I know, the kind of the rule is don't repeat something that's already been said, but I'm going to break that rule this morning. The amount of work that this committee, this board has put into this has been so impressive. And the amount of texts that are flying around, the amount of emails, the conversations, the debate that they have had. Think about that, a scaled granting process for match. That's pretty creative, and it's right. It's the right way to do it. That's to the level that they've gotten it to. And I just wanted to thank them and thank our staff. We did this without adding any additional staff to our agency. So the amount of work, we just added on a workload because our people are passionate about it and the work they do. And I want to thank you all because I believe this is transformational for the state of Wyoming. In order for us to figure out how to educate people when they come into the state and our residents, how to disperse them across the state to communities that want to promote their type of outdoor recreation, and to concentrate them at times when the resource needs to be protected. And so thank you all for that. And the board is working, as Jeremiah said, closely with Game and Fish, closely with state lands, closely with all these other agencies to make sure that we're doing it right. And I, again, just wanted to thank you all for all of your efforts, because you should be proud. I think in 20 or 30 years, when there's maybe hopefully $100 million in that account, you can look back and say, I had something to do with that. I know I'm going to.
Yeah.
So with that, I would stand for any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Director Glenn, thanks. Great comments. And I know I speak for this panel up here. Be sure to tell your agency how much we appreciate them for the support they've given to the board. And I agree with you. I stand back. You don't know how big this thing can get. I think it's really exciting. And I think it's really important because we've talked an awful lot about making sure that people have places to go. Otherwise, they'll create their own places. They'll create their own trails. And, this is important work if we want to take good care of Wyoming and share it in the right way. And I know this board is going to make sure we do that. And can't wait to see what happens. Really, congratulations, everyone. Is there anybody, we do have a couple of minutes, anybody in the back like to come forward and offer any comments, or I would sure offer that. Thank you very much, everyone. So just a couple of housekeeping things, committee, and then we'll close for the morning and go upstairs. This puts us a little bit behind. We were going to take up 3 bills this morning, bills that I kind of wanted to get in the hopper and get them moving. So more than likely, we'll have an early meeting on Tuesday. We may even come in at 7 or 7:30 so that we can. I know I'm ducking here. So we'll try to take up as many as 4 bills on Tuesday. Because our deadline is the end of next week to get bills out and going. And so we'll see about workload, but we may have to start early next Tuesday.
I can do it.
All right, we can compromise and maybe go 7:30 or something like that, but be ready to go to work next week, committee. And today we'll have to close. And any thoughts or comments about the workload ahead, or Madam Vice Chairman, anything? Okay, we're going to take off and head upstairs, everyone. Thanks again, Mr. Chairman. That was awesome. And Commissioner, thanks for being here. Director and Deputy Director, carry on. We'll see you in the next few days. All right. Thank you, Sue. We're done.